Hello everyone, hope everybody is doing absolutely fine. Welcome to this ELL special lecture on how to crack NTA NET Economics JRF and UGC NET exam. In this lecture or in this video, we are going to discuss about three things that are a small introduction of NTA NET Economics exam, the key of the question paper, find out important topics within NTA NET syllabus. I repeat again, in this video we are going to discuss about three things that are small introduction of NTA NET Economics exam, the key of the question paper and find out important topics within NTA NET syllabus. Let us see what is NTA NET Economics exam. NTA NET Economics exam is conducted by the National Testing Agency twice in a year behalf of the UGC. If you clear the JRF, you will be getting a fellowship around 30 to 35,000 including HRA, contingency and your fellowship amount, and you are eligible for the lectureship. If you clear only UGC NET, you are only eligible for the lectureship. If you are a student who are very financially weak and you are very interested in research, you have to target for the JRF. Clearing of the JRF will make you a poor student financially strong. That is the only advantages of the JRF. Question paper. All questions of the NTA NET Economics paper 2 is our MCQs. 100 questions you will see from the NTA NET Economics paper 2 syllabus. Each question is a 2 marks. Total marks of the NTA NET Economics paper 2 is 200 marks. So this pyramid is very important. If you see the question paper of the past years, you will see 60 questions related to the theory, who propounded, where it came, what is the idea, when it was started, who propounded this. Like this questions you will see in the NTA NET Economics exam paper. That is around 60% of the NTA NET Economics questions are related to the theory. Analysis questions 30%, that is around 30 questions. It means based on your theory, they will create a real situation. In that real situation, you have to pick up a right choice. So this analysis part also related to the theory. If you are very strong in theory, they will create a real situation analysis questions and you have to choose a right choice. So this analysis also inter part of the theory part. Current affairs. 10% of the questions or 10 questions you will see from the current affairs, that are budget, that are trade related, recent trade related, and industrial sector reforms, agriculture sector reforms, service sector reforms, recent schemes, poverty elevation schemes and unemployment schemes. So what you have to keep in your mind, this NTA NET Economics question paper is all about economics theory. So if you want to clear the UGC NET or JRF, you have to be very strong in an economic syllabus. I repeat again, if you want to clear the NTA NET Economics JRF, you have to be very strong, you have to be very clear, you have to be know the main crux of the economics theory. If you are not clear of the economics theory, you can't able to clear this NTA NET Economics exam. It's not related to the what is the current situation of the economy, what is the unemployment rate, what is the inflation rate, what is the service sector growth rate, what is who is the prime minister, who is the financial minister. They will not ask such type of questions. in NDA economics exam. They will ask more about economics theory. So keep in your brain very strongly, that is, if you are preparing for the NDA economics exam, you have to very clear and very thorough about economics theory. That is what you should keep in your brain. That is the key of the economics question paper. Okay. So the key of the question paper is economics syllabus. If you are very clear about economics syllabus, that is your key of the question paper. Remember it. Never forget, paper 2 is your favorite subject. The deep understanding of NDA economics syllabus, it will help you lifelong. So what common people will do the mistake is, they will spend lot of time on paper 1 and they will neglect the paper 2. They say that this is my favorite subject, I can clear this paper 2. You spend a lot of time. That means if you work 1 hour for the paper 1, you work 2 hours for the paper 2. So that means paper 2 is all about 67% of the scoring part. So that means NTA economics paper 2 is 67% of your whole exam. Remaining 33% is about your paper 1. So deep understanding of NTA economics syllabus will help you a lifelong. It's not like a paper 1, a short-term goal, useful. The NTA economics syllabus understanding, it will help you your dream in your achieving in your economics career. So I request you everyone, please focus lot on NTA economics syllabus comparing to the paper 1. Why? Because paper 1 understanding is a short term useful, but paper 2 is understanding is useful for your lifelong. Note this is only my suggestion. If you like my suggestion, you just follow it. If you don't like my suggestion, you don't follow it, because I know there are different students will be having a different strategies. Microeconomics syllabus. So this is all about microeconomics syllabus of the NTA economics exam. The theory of consumer behavior. This is very important. From this topic, where you will be getting the questions, that is, what is cardinal approach, what is ordinal approach, what is revealed preference theory, who propounded this all, what is a consumer in an equilibrium situation in cardinal approach, ordinal approach and revealed preference theory. Next one, theory of production and cost. Cost curves are very important, and production equilibrium, that is producer equilibrium point, is very important. Decision making uncertainty, attitude and towards risk. So in this topic you have to understand 3 words, that are risk aversion, risk lowering, risk naturality. These 3 words you have to be very familiar. So game theory, in game theory you have to understand what is game theory, what is Nash equilibrium in game theory, what is prisoner's dilemma, and what is the equilibrium in the game theory of the 2 players. In market structure, also very important. Here you have to understand what is perfect competition, what is monopolistic competition, what is oligopolistic competition, what is monopoly competition, and what are the assumptions of these 4 markets, what is the condition of the profit maximizing of these 4 markets. In oligopoly market, you have to again understand 4 oligopoly market structure, that is Cournot model, Bertrand model, Stackelberg model, and Kink demand curve. In factor pricing, you have to understand what is factor pricing, how the distribution of the factors income are distributed according to the marginal proportion. In general equilibrium, you have to understand what is the general equilibrium of the consumers, what is the general equilibrium of the producers, what is the general equilibrium of the consumers and producers. In efficiency criteria, what is Pareto optimality? You have to understand Calder-Hicks efficiency criteria and wealth maximization approach. In welfare economics, you have to understand 2 fundamental theorems and social welfare function. There are 4 main social welfare functions you have to understand. Asymmetric information, what is asymmetric information? What is adverse selection? What is moral hazard? So this topic also related to the public economics also. So this will comes in the microeconomics and this topic will comes in the public economics also. So in microeconomics is a very basic funda. It means this concept you can relate it to the rest of the subject in international economics, in developmental economics also. For example, elasticity. Elasticity topic comes in the consumer behavior, in the theory of production, in international trade, in developmental economics. You will see elasticity topic in many places. So this is a very important topics for the microeconomics. 2. Macroeconomics. So far there was no question from the national income. Recently NTA is added this national income concept. So far there was no question, but you just have an idea about what is GDP at market price, what is GDP at factor cost, what is GDP of real, what is GDP of nominal, and net income from what is GDP and what is GNP, what is the difference between the GDP and the GNP. You have to be very clear. What are the things you will be added in the GNP? What are the things you subtract from the GNP? You have to be very clear. Determination of output and employment, classical and Keynesian approach. So this is all about what classical said and what Keynesian said about money market, goods market and labor market. Consumption functions. 4 consumption functions that are Keynesian consumption function, Milton-Friedman consumption function, Fisher's consumption function, Modigliani consumption function. These 4 consumption functions you have to be very familiar. What is investment, types of investment, investment function, multiplier and accelerator. Who propounded this multiplier accelerator theory, and what is the formula of multiplier and accelerator? Who propounded this accelerator? The demand for money. So this is all about theories of demand for money. There are 6 theories of demand for money. That is classical theory of demand for money, new classical theory of demand for money, Keynesian demand for theory of money, Baumol theory of demand for money, Tobin's theory of demand for money, Milton-Friedman theory of demand for money. Supply of money. In this balance sheet approach, and what are the components in money supply? That is what is M1, M2, M3 and M4. What are the liquidity aggregates? That is L1, L2 and L3. ISLM model. In ISLM model you have to understand what is IS curve and what is LM curve. Who propounded this ISLM curve? What is a ISLM curve in open market operations? What is inflation and Phillips curve? So what is Phillips curve? What is inflation? What is the relation between the inflation and unemployment? Who propounded this Phillips curve? What are the assumptions of the Phillips curve in short run, in long run? So business cycles, there are 6 business cycle theories, that are Mint business cycle theory, Samuelson business cycle theory, and Keynes business cycle theory, and Schumpeter business cycle theory. Like that there are 6 business cycle theories. You have to be very familiar with the business cycle theories and assumptions of that theories. Monetary and fiscal policy. So you have to just have a little about what is monetary policy, what is fiscal policy, and what are the recent changes in the monetary policy, that is CRR, SLR, repo rate, reverse repo rate, marginal standing facility rate. And in fiscal policy you have to be understand what is tax structure changes recently according to the budget. So here in rational expectations you have to understand what is rational expectations hypothesis, who propounded this, and what is the critics. 3. International economics. In international trade you have to understand what is international trade. From this topic you will never get a question, but it's a basic idea. The theories of international trade, mainly 4, that are Adam Smith, David Ricardo theory, opportunity cost theory, HO theory, and the Leontief paradox, that is contrast to the HO theory. In international trade under imperfect competition, that are imperfect competition theory, that is intra and interstate trade theories. You will see that are Raymond Vernon business cycle theory. You will see in international trade under imperfect competition. In balance of payments you have to understand what is balance of payments, what is current account, what is capital account, what are the elements are included in the current account, what are the elements included in the capital account, what is a deficit of the BOP, what is the surplus of the BOP, and how it can be equalized. These are the things you have to understand. In exchange rate you have to understand what is exchange rate, types of exchange rate, how the exchange rate is determined, what are the markets of the exchange rate. Gains from trade, terms of trade, and trade multiplier. In terms of trade you have to understand gross terms of trade, net barter terms of trade, single factorial terms of trade, double factorial terms of trade, income terms of trade. You have to understand what is the formula of trade multiplier. So, and you have to understand types of tariff barriers and types of non-tariff barriers. So in this international trade you have to understand 3 main words, that are dumping, arbitrage, and types of dumping. In here you have to understand what is WTO, what is IMF, what is World Bank, what are the allied institutions of the World Bank, and what are the functions of these 3 World Trade Organization, IMF and World Bank, main functions, and the recent trade policy. You have to understand. So this is all about international economics. In public economics you have to understand what is market failure, what are the types of market failure, so what is asymmetric information, externality, moral hazard, public goods. So what is deadweight loss, regulation, collision, and consumers welfare. So regulation of market, it's all about deadweight loss and how the consumer is losing his welfare. Public revenue. Public revenue topic is all about types of tax, theories of tax, and types of tax theories, that are progressive taxation theory, regressive taxation theory. So in public expenditure you have to understand what is revenue expenditure, what is capital expenditure, what are the things are included in the capital expenditure, what are the things are included in the revenue expenditure. In public debt you have to understand what is fiscal deficit, what is public debt, what is revenue deficit, what is budget deficit, and its management. Here you have to understand what is budget and what is the recent budget, and what are the modifications in the recent budget, what are the adjustments are made in the recent budget. So here you have to understand what is a fiscal policy and what are the implications of the increasing of the debt. 5. Money and banking. Components of money supply, that is M1, M2, M3 and M4 liquidity aggregates, that are L1, L2 and L3. So here in central bank you have to understand what is central bank, what are the functions of the central bank, what is the revenue source of the central bank. In commercial banking, when commercialization of the banks was happened, in which year, what are the banks are included in the commercial banks. in instruments and working of monetary policy. Here you have to understand what is SLR, what is CRR, what is repo rate, what is reverse repo rate, what is marginal standing facility rate. These are the things you have to understand how this will work. If the CRR increasing, what will happen to the inflation? If the repo rate is increasing, what will happen to the inflation and money supply? You have to understand the relationship of this CRR, repo rate, reverse repo rate, SLR, CRR, this marginal standing facility rate, relation to the money supply and inflation. The non-banking financial institution. What is non-banking financial institutions and what are the functions of the non-banking financial institutions? Capital market and regulations. What is capital market? What is the functions of the capital market? What is the main regulation features of the capital market? 6. Growth and developmental economics. Here you have to understand what is economic growth and what is economic development. It means you have to understand the difference between the economic growth and economic development. Don't follow these theories all. I request you just have a idea about what Adam Smith said, what Ricardo said, what Karl Marx said, what Schumpeter said, what Rostow said, what balanced and unbalanced growth said, and Big Push said. It means you just have a idea about what Adam Smith said for developing the economy and what Ricardo said for developing the economy, what Marx said for developing the economy, and assumptions of the theory. This balanced and unbalanced growth theory is very important. Every time there was a question from this topic. Then models of economic growth. Harrod model, Solow model, Robbins and Calder. So this Harrod model and Solow model are very important. Without these models, no question paper. So just have a little idea about Harrod model and Solow model. Technical progress. What is technical progress? What is disembodied and embodied endogenous growth models? It means these growth theories and these developmental theories just have a idea about what is a technical progress in these theories, and disembodied and embodied technical progress. These also you just have a little idea. Indicators of economic development. What is PQLI? What are the indicators are included in the PQLI measurement? Who proposed it? What is HDA, SDG? And you have to be very familiar with the sustainable developmental goals. And poverty, types of poverty, measurement of poverty, inequalities. And you have to know what is inequality, types of inequality, and measurement of inequality. Social sector development. It's all about current situation, about health, education and gender. 7. Environmental economics and demography. In environmental economics, what type of environmental good it is? Is it a public good? Is it a private good? You have to know. Market failure. What is market failure? You have to familiar. What is cause theorem? When the market is failed, how to correct this market failure? This cause theorem is explained that. Cost benefit analysis. What is cost benefit analysis? What are the steps and compensation criteria? That is Sotelsky, Hicks criteria. Valuation of the environmental goods. How to evaluate environmental degradation. Theories of population. There are 6 theories of population. You have to be very familiar. Concepts and measures of fertility, morbidity and mortality. You have to know what is fertility, morbidity and mortality and how to measure fertility, morbidity and mortality. You have to be very familiar with the current fertility, morbidity and mortality also. Age structure, demographic dividend. This is also very important. What is demographic dividend? Age structure of the present Indian population. You have to be very familiar with the life table. And what is life table? What are the columns, rows included in the life table? Migration. Just have a little idea about what is migration. So far there was no question from this topic. 8. Indian economy. So in this topic, so you have to understand here what is the current economic growth. Here you have to understand what is the recent reforms and past reforms of the agriculture sector. Here you have to understand industry sector reforms, past reforms and present reforms and the future challenges. In service sector, you have to understand past reforms, present reforms and future challenges. In rural development, you have to understand past reforms, present structure and the future challenges. In urban development, you have to understand what is urban development, what is past reforms, what is present reforms, what is future challenges. In foreign trade, you have to understand structure and direction of the current Indian economy and trade policies of the Indian economy at present. Infrastructure, you have to understand what is infrastructure, what are the things are included in the infrastructure, reforms in land, labor and capital markets. You have to understand what is the recent reforms in land markets, labor market and capital markets. Center State Financial Relations and Finance Commission of India FRBM Act. So this topic is very important. This Center State Financial Relation and Finance Commission, every time you will see two questions. So you have to be very clear about Center State Financial Relation and Finance Commission. And what is poverty, what is the recent reforms of the poverty, inequality, what is the recent reforms for inequality, and unemployment and types of unemployment you have to be very familiar. So this is all about Indian economy. So this statistics and econometrics part. So it's a combination of the statistics part and econometrics part. So here you have to understand types of distribution, that is normal distribution, Poisson distribution, chi-square distribution. There are 5 theories of distribution. You have to be very familiar. Then central tendency theory you have to be very familiar. Then you have to be very familiar with the sampling methods. Sampling methods also part of the paper 1. What is statistical inference and hypothesis testing and the types of hypothesis, linear regression model assumptions, identification problem, simultaneous equation models, discrete choice models, time series analysis. In mathematical economics, you have to be very familiar with the set theory, optimization condition, elasticity calculation, deadweight loss calculation, and matrix problem, and input output analysis and linear programming. These things you have to be very familiar. For statistics, mathematics, econometrics, what you have to do? You have to follow the previous year question papers. Start from the 2011 to 2019. So far, what was the questions came from the mathematical economics, statistics and econometrics. For mathematical economics and statistics and econometrics, just follow the previous year question paper. Just have a little idea about mathematical economics concepts and statistics, little concepts about the central tendency theory and theories of distribution, sampling methods, and what is regression, what is dependent and independent variable identification. These are the things you have to keep in your brain. This is all about important topics of the NTA NET economics syllabus. Hope you have understand what is the important topics within NTA NET economics syllabus and how to deal the NTA NET economics syllabus and how to understand what is the funda of the NTA NET economics syllabus. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel because your subscription is my inspiration. Thank you. See you in another video.